I have dedicated my professional career to the study and control of arthropods.
Okay, this is a response to Josephericlopez's response to my response. It's kind of getting confusing here, and before I start this, I want to make it clear, Joe. I am not trying to elicit a video exchange. It's simply because I respect your wishes to not do so. And I'm not trying to force one by by doing this. I did want to say a few things that are just take way too long to say in a text response or text comments. So that's the point of this. There's no need to respond. You can respond with text comments, or if you want to make a video response, that's great. But I'm saying I'm not trying to force that. This is what I wanted to kind of get to a central point, because I have have shown, in my opinion, that your sources were flawed. Lots of your sources were flawed, and with the Pianka thing, I do want you to understand that Pianka said some things very, very similar to that. He has said them before. I've seen a seminar by Pianka, not on that same topic. He tends to the extreme, and I don't. And I, as I mentioned in a comment, I did work with a student of Pianka's, and she had nothing but contempt for his viewpoints on that, as she was an atheist and a humanist, and didn't appreciate his views on that. So that's kind of a lead into what I wanted to state, that if your quotes were true, and again, a number of them are not, but if they were actually true, they still would be meaningless, and I want to explain why. Somebody saying something, okay, because I don't care what viewpoint you take in the world, you can find 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 people who have said something to support your position. Doesn't make it true. Doesn't make it evidence for a global conspiracy, okay? Jacques Cousteau wanting to eliminate, whatever he said, 350,000 people per day, which he never said. But Jacques Cousteau, if he had made that claim, okay, Jacques Cousteau isn't running the New World Order. He's not in charge. He's not somebody who, the people in the secret underground star chamber, at the big giant table sitting in the dark, are going, yes, Cousteau is right, we'll follow his command. That's not the way it works, any more than Pianka is. These people are just people that said something or didn't say something, as the case may be. If I wanted to say, I believe that the New World Order wants to convince us all that the Earth is flat and that the moon landing was a hoax, okay? I'm positive that's what the New World Order wants. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to put up a bunch of quotes from people making that claim, okay? And use that as evidence that there is therefore a unified international conspiracy to bring about that, okay? Do you sort of see where I'm going with this? You can't make that leap. People saying something isn't evidence for that. The United Nations has you can point out these things about, yes, they want birth control in third world nations. I know in your video on populations you went into some detail about the how underpopulated the Earth is, and you showed Texas and New Mexico and those places, and it's true those places are empty. But you do understand that many places in the world are not empty, and the option to move isn't really there, okay? Places of concern where there are dense human populations, where the land simply doesn't grow crops, okay? Major parts of the world are like that, and people don't have the option to move. Borders are closed. So anyway, but that is an aside. So anyway, the United Nations has discussed, but if you look at the other things, why would they, if they want to eliminate 90% of the world, or 95%, or 350,000 per day, if that's what the United Nations New World Order is trying to bring about, why are they expending billions of dollars to save lives worldwide? Why are they feeding? Why don't they just let these people in Africa starve? Why do they feed them? Why do they stop warlords from that are doing mass genocide of millions of people? Why do they, why would you want to stop that if your goal was the elimination of people? Okay, that's the counter argument to what you're stating. I believe that the world is overpopulated with humans. Simply as a biologist, as an ecologist who has studied and done real world measurements of carrying capacity, we are over. There's too many of us. There's way too many of us for the Earth to sustain. That's a simple fact. No, it doesn't mean that every square inch has a people in it. I mean, your analogy of Pensacola, Florida, I think that was the one, since that's where Kent Hovind's from, about everybody being able to stand there with a 4-foot square. You can't live off of a 4-foot square, okay? In a non-technological society, I think it's 100 square miles per person is about what it takes to support. That means an area 10 miles by 10 miles to support each individual person in a non-technological society. So that means that's why tribes usually had 50 or so people and had a huge area per each individual tribal group. That's simply the amount of game animals, the amount of that's if you ever see a trophic pyramid of how much material it takes for a top predator to sustain his top predator. But anyway, that's. I mean, I could certainly argue your point on simply on ecological science. It violates the basic, the whole thing. Anyway, I'm going to stop this now. This is already probably too long, so I just wanted to make a few points, and take care.